Hello and good day everyone. My name is Nurun Najwa Bahari and I am supervised by Dr. Fatimah Abdul Razak. I will present my research entitled Community Analysis on Network of Malay Films. Malay film is a part of the Malaysian film industry in the Malay language. We attempt to look at the relationship in the data by using the network, which we can visualize the relationship. The network consists of nodes and edges. It can be unweighted or weighted network depend on the number of connections between the nodes. For example, as we can see in this picture, it is weighted network with nodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, while edges are A, B, C, and D, A. Here between nodes 2 and 4 consists of D and A, which will count as 2. Meanwhile, other edges only consist of 1 and 0 connection. So if this is a unweighted network, it will only consist of 1 and 0 connection. 0 connection is shown by nodes 4 and 1. There is no line or edge here, so there is no connection. The network of Malay film contains film as nodes and the edges are actors of the same movie. For example, we could say film 1 is connected with film 2 by actor A. We use modularity, which is a community detection, to learn about the group of films when they are formed as communities that are closely tied together. So the objective of this study are first to build a network of Malay films, second build community using modularity, and next is to analyze each community. For the data, we use our own data collection from various sources such as Wikipedia, Finas, and free websites like Kaki Movie, KF Zoom, and Cinema.com. So the films are from 2015 until February 2020. Since the time of the research are in the year 2020 and following the COVID-19 hit has resulted films screened in cinema only until February 2020. Also, we do not take actors who make special appearance or cameo because they are not considered as leading actors in the film. So the data will only consist 169 films and 800 actors. So the genre, production company, and director of the films are also collected. Then the network will construct using Gephi, which it will visualize a large network clearly and beautiful. Additionally, Gephi also has modularity for community detection. So the network is G equals to NE, where N is set of nodes and E is sets of edges. For example, by using the previous example, N for the network contains 1, 2, 3, and 4, meanwhile E contains A, B, C, and D. And next is about modularity. Modularity will measure the strength of the network's partition into a group of communities. So modularity value is between 0 and 1 and the good benchmark is above 0.3. So modularity is calculated using an algorithm based on the modulation optimization value. The algorithm will divide into two phases that are repeated repeatedly. And the first phase stops when the modulation placement reaches its maximum level and it gives a gain to a node. So this gain of modulation can be calculated by using this equation, which is the delta Q. It is calculated by moving isolated node I into community C. So it simply means delta Q equals to after node I merge with C minus before node I merge with C. So in this equation, total in is the sum of the weights of the edges. Total tot is the sum of the weight of the edges that incident to the nodes. Si is the sum of weight from I to nodes, and M is sum of the weight of all edges in the network. So the nodes will choose to be in a community that give the highest data Q, and at the end of the method, the optimal division of this network into communities will be formed. So the result of this analysis shows 7 communities were formed as shown in the figure, and each community was given a different color to represent it and was named based on their respective color as shown in this table. Malay Film Network has a modularity of 0.335, which is slightly above the good benchmark of a good partition. Also means that the structure of community relation is significant. So to determine the dominant characteristic of each community, we will look at their genre, director, and production company. The first community is a red color, which is RFC, only has 3 films. The connection between Bobo Boy and BM2 has weighted edges of 7. considering BM2 is a sequel film from Bombo Boy, so they share a lot of same actors. RFC only consists of animation film that produced by different production company, but two films were directed by the same director, which is Nizam Razak. So this shows that the member of this community is linked to two other animated films through the voice actor that work in Bobo Boy. For Nets community is in pink color named PIFC. It has 10 film with highest weight of 2. PIFC does not show significant trait as dominant factor either in genre, production company or director. So the actors in PIFC are not heavily influenced by these factors. Next community is in blue, named BFC. It has 36 films with highest weighted of 2. Most of BFC films are comedies with highest production company or Empire Films and Scope Production. Each has 5 films. So as well as it has the most film directed by Abdul Razak Mohidin. And then Purple Community named PUFC has the most film, which is 45, and the highest weight is 7 between Juvana 2 and Juvana 3. Again, both film is sequel. However, most film in PFC are horror. And MIG Pictures produced 7 films and Ira Rahman directed the most film in PUFC. So, as for your information, Ira Rahman is a famous director that tend to direct horror films, but her other type of films, which is comedy films, are also listed in PUFC. Next, in Green Community, GFC has 37 films and highest weighted value of 3. Most of the film in GFC are non-romantic films. GFC has dominant director Osman Ali, who is well known for his work in romantic and drama films. Although the film is the romantic genre, other films directed by Osman Ali are also listed in GFC, just like Ira Rahman in PUFC. So this demonstrates that actors who have appeared in films directed by Osman Ali and Ira Rahman are more likely to appear in his or her other films. Next is Orange Community OFC. It has 20 films and has highest weights of 3. Most of the films are comedies and produced by Astro Shaw. Meanwhile, director shows they all have equal films. Finally, the last community is Yellow YFC. It has 18 films and the highest weight is 3. It has the highest of 6 comedy films and 6 horror films. Also highest of production company by Primeworks Studios and Scope Production. Both have 4 films in YFC. Meanwhile, the dominant director is Mamat Khalid, the famous director for comedy and mixture of another type of films like horror. So as conclusion, 169 Malay films were collected and used to visualize as network. The resulting network were then measured using modularity to form the communities. So each community in a film network is more likely to show dominant characteristic in terms of genre. Since there are too many different production companies, it is quite difficult to see the characteristic of the community in that sense. So there are some strong clusters in films community that are almost entirely shaped by director since they would take the same actor they have worked with for other films, and it will create a community such as in RFC, which also are connected mainly because the member of RFC are voice actors in animation films. So the findings indicate that several communities have the same dominant production company. This means that a single feature is not always the dominant feature for film communities. It could be the mixture of both traits. For example, the films in GFC are represented by films that produced by Astro Shaw, but most of the films are romantic films compared to OFC that also have representation by Astro Shaw but have films mostly on comedy. So as a result, the combination of factors such as genre, production company and director can be concluded to be the dominant feature for communities in the network of Malay films. Uh, that's all. Thank you.